Yo, what's going on, guys? Jared here. Today, I wanted to show you what I have been working on in Yu-Gi-Oh! I know it's been a little bit, but with the new format coming around, post-Darkwing Blast, we have a lot of new things to go over. There's so many decks to try out, and we get to see a little glimpse of the format with YCS Minneapolis happening this weekend, which I'm currently watching. I'm just waiting to see the format and how it develops, but I did have a chance to go to locals yesterday, and I've been testing on online and with some friends a lot, and my brother. With a certain deck, and that's the deck I'm going to be showing you today. But I do have problems with the deck. I do not think the deck is perfect, and I'm going to explain to you why, what the issues are with the deck in my opinion, and why. I honestly don't think it's going to be tier 1, but I think it's definitely a fun alternative deck to play if you wanted to play. The deck we're going to be going over is Dracoslayers, and if you guys enjoy Dracoslayers and you want to see more content about Dracoslayers, feel free to like and subscribe down below, just so that I know that you guys actually enjoy Dracoslayer content, because I really did miss Ignis, Majesty Maiden, and Dynamite Fighter, but it is not the ones that I love, unfortunately. It is the pendulum versions of them, but overall, I do miss playing these cards, and just saying the words activate Ignis again is just puts a smile on my face when I play. So overall, let's just get right into the deck profile and hope you guys enjoy. Okay, guys, so like I was saying, the format's not really that developed yet. Obviously, this isn't a new format, right, post Darkwing Blast, so we have all new cards to go over, and we don't know how the format's going to develop, so I have made technical choices in this deck building that I think are very good right now. This is a going first deck. I know you're going to question that as I go through this, but I promise you it makes sense. Just please do not doubt me yet, and it'll be okay. But starting off, we have 3 copies of Majesty Pegasus, the Dracoslayer, 3 copies of Ignis, and 3 copies of Dynamite. These are the 3 new ones. You play 3 of all of them. They're all good in their own right. These 2 are the 2 best ones because they have deck interactions. That's the best way I could describe it. Being able to tutor for anything in your deck through both of them is just really, really good. And then Dynamite's a really good extender. It also has like probably one of the best like rotas in the game for it. And Dynamite, I'm sorry, not Dynamite, Dynamis charge, because it gets added value throughout the game as well. So yeah, like these is like a staple for me, just playing all of them. And she's your only like Dracoslayer low scale too, out of the new ones. So you have to make some deck building choices because of that. And I'm going to show you a combo at the end of the video too that this deck is like based on doing. And then we play 3 Luster, the old OG boy. I haven't seen this guy play in so long, but he is still really, really good. And I love the cards that he goes with. Like, I've always loved the Dracoslayers. I didn't like them being abused in Pepe, but it's nice to see them being able to be playable again. Because I thought they were really, really cool when they came out. So yeah, 3 of him. And then for the last Dracoslayer monsters I played in the main deck, it was 2 Master Pendulum. So the reason that these are in here is strictly because, like I said, she's your only low scale, and this is your only high scale. And during the combos, sometimes you burn through Dracoslayer monsters really, really fast, and you just need like bodies to that aren't bad to just get through, like the special summon off like Ignis or Prominence or something. So you don't want to waste like the good ones in your deck. You want to be able to always have them and search them through the Exceed and the End Phase and whatnot. So it's really important that you don't like burn through your entire engine on your first turn, because you need some kind of a long game overall. So that's why I play 2 of these, and like I said, it's the low scale, so it works out really well for me. Moving into like other pendulum cards that are not Dracoslayer specifically, we have 3 copies of Bambuku. So Magispector Bambuku is only in here because it's searchable, or it is searched to get to Majesty Pegasus, because it's always a Magispector card. And like I said, they all have that type of effect. So like this is always a Magispector card, Ignis is always a Ignite card, and Dynamite is always a Dynamis card. Overall, the Magispector and the Dynamis are the best ones. There is like an argument for the Ignite one, but you have to play like a lot of Ignites for this to be like relevant, in my opinion. So yeah, that one that comes up the least. But yeah, Bambuku's like still like a really good searcher. There's like random small interactions with this card that are very important to keep in mind. Like this cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. So if you normal summon this, they can't like imperm you. Just like small stuff like that, just something to keep in mind. And you can pendulum summon and still get the search too. It's also like very, very relevant. And then for your other 2 normal summons is Skull Bat Joker. I like 5 normal summons in a 40 card deck. I think it like just like goes nicely in a build. You really only see 1 most of the time in your hands. And it's very like rare you draw 2, and even if you do draw 2, you can normal summon 1, then pendulum summon out the Bambuku, and then the Bambuku will still trigger. You just gotta make sure you have the right scale. Like Maiden can do it, but Master Pendulum cannot, because he's a scale 3. So it's just something to keep in mind. But Joker is really good. It searches in a roundabout way. It can search either of these. So Joker can get either a high scale or a low scale, you know, just something to keep in mind. I know you're saying like, oh, like Jared, like this doesn't search this. Well, it gets this, and then this gets to this. So in a roundabout way, it gets to this. And then this is also an extender for your actual like Dracoslayer monsters in your graveyard, like the extra deck ones we'll get to later. So like, and it's not once per turn. There's no hard once per turns in this deck pretty much. So it's very, very like strong for that reason. And yeah, just like really, really good. Like this card's just nuts. So yeah, that's it for Joker, really. There's another card searches, but it's not that great. I'll show you in a second. And then obviously the Revolution Dragons is just like insane in this deck for that reason. It searches any of the Dracoslayer dragons. So like I said, high scale, low scale. And then like the other effect to summon it, like it actually can come up, but it's pretty rare. It's pretty like it doesn't come up a lot. And then for the last 2 monsters of the deck was 1 Astrograph and then 1 Stargazer. This is the other card that Joker can search for, but like you're never going to do that really. It's like you got to be like a desperate situation to search this. But it's just, you know, it's a nice option to have regardless. But this is mostly in here for this effect. So this is like one of the best low scales you can search in the deck. I know people like playing Monkey Board as well, but it's really weird. You got to play like bad cards with Monkey Board. So you have to play Wizard Draw and stuff. And drawing Wizard Draw sucks. Like it's really bad if you just draw Wizard Draw and your hand's just like really bricky. And if you like been following me for a while on my channel, like I want like my hands to be playable most of the time, if not all the time. So I'm trying to make this as like consistent as possible. And it's hard to make a deck like this as consistent as possible and break through boards. And the nice part about these Dracoslayers is they give you a 2-card combo, so you can actually do a lot and then still have like other cards in your hand that help play through board or play through hand traps and stuff. So yeah, Astrograph's still like insane. I wish it was at 3 for this deck because I think it'd be really, really good. But yeah, overall this is fine though. Like this is part of the combo, and even if you draw it, you can still special with Astrograph from the hand. Yeah, just good. Astrograph also combos with Odd Eyes Revolution if you can do a certain combo with it, which is nice. Moving on to spell cards. Some of these ratios make a little weird, but like it's because if you draw 2 of them, it's just like really bad. Like Duelist Alliance, like you never want to see 2 because you can only activate 1 a turn. So like you just like if you see it, cool. It's just another luster. It's either of the Dracoslayer dragons again because they both have pendulum in the name. So it's really, really good. Just like you always want to be able to get to like luster pendulum and stuff. And then we play 2 copies of Desires. This is a card you want to use at the end of your combo, not in the start of it, because you don't want to banish your Dracoslayer monsters. So this is like that card at the end, but it's also like, if you have to, you can do it early. This deck has like a pretty good macro game, where the Ignister Prominence and the Dynamist like stuff is like really, really annoying to deal with for some decks. So overall, I think this is actually just like really, really strong. And then for like the 2 like Rhodas of the deck, for like the other Dracoslayers, is actually Rhoda, which is reinforcing the army. This can get Ignis Heat, or not Ignis Heat, but the Ignis Pendulum. And then we play 1 Dynamist Charge for the Dynamite. And like I said, Charge is really good because it searches the Dynamite, and then it stays on the field as well. And then if Dynamite is sent from the field to the extra deck, you can just add it back to your hand immediately, which is really good value, especially when you go into the Fusion, because then you can get like a Dynamite effect and Charge effect, and whatever you use to make the Fusion, they just both go back to your hand, which is really, really cool. Yeah, just like simple interactions with this that are like kind of neat. I wanted to play more of this, but like drawing, it's like I said, Dynamite's the worst one. Like if this was like, if Dynamite and like Maiden switched their what's it called? They're like what they are, like Magispector. Like I would rather play 3 of those because this card's just so good. I love this card. It's like perpetual, like perpetuity of value coming out of this, which is nice. Yeah, that's it for those. And then for like field spells, we play the 1 Sky Iris for the combo because it searches Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Or Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon, sorry. I'm usually not a Pendulum player, so like bear with me, but like I'm like this deck's like really cool. So yeah, Sky Ratchet searches Revolution Dragon, and Revolution Dragon gets to like a lot of the cards and helps the combo a lot, bringing back Prominence. And then like we have to tech out for the format as well, and this is where like the build gets weird because like the rest of these cards are just for like the format of where I think it's gonna go, and I think these cards are really good in the format currently. Again, this is pre-YCS Minneapolis. This is pre-understanding the format, so you have to bear with me. This is just things that I think are very good right now. So the other field spell we played is Necro Valley, strictly for Tyrellman. So you could like swap this down going first if you draw it on top of the Sky Iris, or vice versa. If you do Sky Iris, you can get Necro Valley, swap it down at the very end. Because Necro Valley only hurts you like the first turn of the duel, for the most part. Like obviously it turns off Revolution Dragon, but like stopping Selene is like the biggest issue that Necro Valley has in the main combo. So it's just something to keep in mind. Necro Valley is very, very strong right now. Yep, it stops Spright Elf and Tyrellman, so very, very good. And then moving on past field spells. For the rest of the spells, we play 3 copies of Dark Ruler and 2 copies of Talents. I know what you're thinking. It's probably going to be like, oh, Jared, like Josh Schmidt just won with Lava Golem. Why would you play Dark Ruler? So after like reconsidering the format again, the Eradicator play for tier elements sucks because you have to dedicate a lot of cards for it. With they go into the what's it called, the Curious, and go into the Griffin, and then like you have to tribute off one of the fusions for the for the Eradicator because you can't tribute off Griffin itself. It's just like really butt, and I feel like a lot of people aren't going to be doing that unless you're maining 3 Eradicator. It just seems not good. So yeah, I think like it's fine. I'm not too worried about it, but like these are really good against like Spright and Tier because a lot of the Tier decks now post Darkwind Blast are ending on the other fusion and Elf. So like they can negate special summons and then like Mekmiri and then like to do stuff like that. So Dark Ruler is like good against that type of board, just because it turns that stuff off and you can play a little bit. It'll always hit like 2 interactions pretty much, at least at a minimum with this, which is good. And then 2 Turbo Tactics Talents. Hand traps are like kind of an issue with this deck. If they hit like Beyond the Pendulum or something like that, it's really an issue because like Beyond the Pendulum is some of the harshest restrictions I've ever read in this game. And yeah, it's just a big problem. So you need something to help draw you into more outs, or if you can play through it, just look at your opponent's hand and make sure they can't play. You know, they hand trap you and then you talents them up another card. They're at 3 cards. If you can keep comboing, you're just in there. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. I think talents is actually like pretty strong and helps OTK too because you can take their board. And then for trap cards, I'm also main decking 3 Evenly Match. Yeah, Evenly is like insane right now, in my opinion. The only reason I'm saying that is because one, this deck can actually play through Barrier Statue from Flunder, so like Apex Avion's like kind of whatever because she's Wind, and then the Magic Spectre from Boku's also Wind, and then they have their Exceeds also Wind, I believe, if I remember correctly. Apple Lewis is also Wind. Like you have plays you can do even through Barrier Statue, which is nice. But this is actually mostly for like tier elements and Sprites again because a lot of this, like, they're not respecting this card. Spright can respect it the easiest with going into Carrot, obviously, as I've played Spright before. But Tyroman doesn't really have a good answer to this. They have the new Fusion, and the Fusion is good against Nib, but they still don't have a play for this, unless they start adapting their board differently. I don't know. Again, this is very open in the format, but currently, from what I've been seeing, Tyr does not have a good answer to this. So, and like I said, this deck still goes first. It's not a going second deck. You're just playing a bunch of going second cards to break their board, because this deck has issues playing through boards. And again, you should, like your combo is a 2-card combo plus a discard. So if you have one of these going first, you can just discard it and do your combo anyway, which makes it very, very nice. And the 2-card combo, by the way, is any combination of Maiden, Luster Pendulum, and Ignis. So if you have any of these, two of these, not like duplicates, just 2 of these. So if you have like this, or this, you can do like a full combo for Dracoslayer. So the whole point of the deck is to be able to do this. That's why Dynamis Charge is at 1, because it doesn't get you 2 more of these. That's why Luster is so easy to get to in this deck. It's just it's insane. So as long as you can get to 2 of these, you have a full combo. And then plus, if you have more stuff on top of that, you can do even more. That's it for the main deck. So I don't play the Magicians yet. I do want to test them out, but I just don't own them right now. I have a buddy who has them, and I'm going to try them out later. And I think they are good because it adds a Boardwood Savage at the end of the combo if you open up with like Bumboku, which is nice, instead of like Pegasus itself. But that's for a different video. There's like so many combo lines with this deck of how it like changes. But overall, yeah. And then for the extra deck, we have 2 Beyond the Pendulum. This is supposed to be like the Electromite replacement, and it's like it's not bad. It's also not a great. This, like I said, this restriction is like insane of how bad it is of turning off your pendulums. And then, like, you can't, like, negates all monsters, too. It's just absolutely absurd. I can't believe how restricted they made this. So, yeah, but this card's very mediocre. You almost will never get the second effect off. You have to be Pendulum summoning out Bumboku, which is pretty rare. But, yeah, it's just part of the combo. And, yeah, it's still like a good card and has 2 link arrows pointing down, which is nice. And then for the other Link 2 I play, there's 1 IP Masquerena. There's lines where you can make it, and it's okay. It's not, like, amazing, but it's fine. I don't know. Like it's IP, it's an interruption, and it can make some cute stuff without being, not being able to be destroyed by card effects. So I don't think it's bad at all. And then for Link 3s, we have 1 Celine. This is again part of the combo. It's not awful. It's literally just part of the combo. It's the best way I can describe it. It's just a midway point to get back Majesty Pegasus for another free body to then keep going and linking up, yada yada. Yeah, and then 1 Nightmare Unicorn. This is for the IP Masquerena, just for the extra interruption, like I was saying. And the combo will get you a card in the end phase, so you always have something to discard off this. And then for the last 2 links that I play is 1 Apo and 1 access code. You usually go Apo for 2. You can do it for more if you want to. It's up to you how you do your combo, but the one I'm doing is doing this for 2. But it's a very good 2 because you can protect it with Hope Harbinger. So it's nice. You're going to get like almost guaranteed 2 negates out of this. And access code is still good for closing out games. And like sometimes you have like in the crackback, you have like you can go into like the Beyond the Pendulum, and then have like other guys or and something, or you have like a leftover unicorn from IP, and it's just very easy to go into access code and get like the pop 2 for light and dark to be able to just close out a game with this. So yeah, it's just like generically good card to kill people with. So yeah. And then going into fusions, there's only 2. It's just the 2 Dynamite, the Dinosaur Power Mighty Dracoslayer, the fusion. Yeah, he's really good. He's not like great. It's not Ignister Prominence because he specials from hand or graveyard. The graveyard's like really important to remember because there is like combo lines that you can special summon back from the end phase because you do Exceed in this deck, and that Exceed gives you the extra material from this. Yeah, just really good. This deck's like really complicated. I don't know. And then for synchros, we do play 3 Ignister Prominence. The reason we play 3 of this one is because it's like. So you use like 2 of it in the main combo, like 1 or 2 of it, and then it's also like the best going second because of the other effect. But sometimes you do run out of pendulums. Something to keep in mind. Like you don't always have like an infinite amount of pendulums to spin away their stuff. So yeah, just like really important to remember. There's also like some cute combos of like Pisty that I've seen. You can go like into Selene and then like you link this off. I think it's like link this off into the Selene, and you go into like Pisty, bring this back, do this again. There's like cool combos with it, but like the problem is there's no like good high link dragon to go into to get rid of the Pisty. So in the combo, usually you end up using the Ignister to spin away the Pisty to get rid of the restriction, and that just seems butt to me. I don't want to do that. So yeah, but yeah, overall I do like this card's like just insane, obviously. And then for the links, one Magispector Paladin. Really good. This gives you like your end phase search and plus as an extender, and it also puts stuff in the graveyard. So like you use this, like detach special one from the extra deck, and then you go into Selene. Now there's like 2 guys in the graveyard because you exceeded for this, so you can Selene back 1 and then Mighty Dracoslayer back the other one. So it gives you 2 more bodies. It sets it up very nicely, but you don't want to make this like in the mid to late game because it just doesn't. It's not that great. It just literally just gives you follow up and is a little extension play for the main combo. And then we play 1 Abyss Dweller because tier moments. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And you can get the 500 boost because of Dynamite. No, but yeah. And then lastly is Hope Harbinger. Yeah, this is the card again, the end board where you end up Hope, Dweller, and Appaloosa for 2, which is good this format. And it might seem like, oh, that's not that great. It's only like 3 interruptions, but like Dweller is such a freaking powerhouse right now. It's absolutely insane. And I did see other builds playing Artifact Scythe, but I don't think I like that strictly because you have to play another brick, like I said, and maybe if you play the Magicians, it's better, but you have to play like Artifact Scythe, and then you have to play the Purple Poisons, and then you have to like eat more extra deck spots for the End Test and the Dagda, and then you also have to eat 2 more bodies in the combo to go into the Dagda, then go into the End Test, and then overlay the End Test into the Dweller, and I don't like how much dedication it takes to do the Scythe play. I feel like I'd rather just have like a very mid-rangey consistent Dracoslayer build than go for like this absolutely absurd combo. Yeah, that's just like my take on it personally. But overall, that's the deck itself, and then I'm going to show you the deck the combo real quick. Just what I've been doing with it, and I've been enjoying this, and this combo's been working for me very well. So yeah. So like I said, it's any of these 2. I'll do Luster and Maiden because it's just right here. So yeah, like obviously you have both. You scale. Activate Maiden to get Ignis, and then use Maiden's like after it surges, you can destroy a 1. So you're gonna pop the Maiden itself, and then you're gonna activate the Ignis. Use Luster, pop Ignis, and then that's going to get another Ignis through the Luster. And then this also triggers Ignis's effect when it's destroyed, the special summon. And then this can special summon a Luster Pendulum. And then you can normal summon on the Ignis that you added. And then these 2 can link into Beyond the Pendulum. Use Beyond Pendulum's effect to pay 1200 the search. And this is where you're going to get your low scale. So now you're like all your monsters are negated and your pendulum scales are negated. But again, this is where some people get Monkey Board because Monkey Board's negated, so you can like search after. But I really don't like that because again, you have to play bad cards, and I'm trying to avoid that. So now you have a 1 and a 5, so you can pendulum summon. We're gonna pendulum summon 2 for Beyond, and you want to use Ignis and Maiden. You can use Maiden's effect here. Again, this is where if you had like this in your hand, you can pitch it to get the field spell. So we can get Sky Iris here. We're gonna link overlay. I'm sorry, not link overlay for Magispector the Exceed. And then we're going to activate this effect to detach and special summon the Luster Pendulum. And keep in mind when you exceed summon this to activate the effect like I didn't just do, to search in the end phase as well. It's very important because you get it's very good for follow-up. So yeah, you detach, especially summon the Luster from the extra deck, and then you can link these two off immediately to go, well, activate the Sky Iris first of all. Again, this combo is like really randomly like specific. So you actually have to activate the Sky Iris first to give you the third spell. So when you link summon the Selene, it gets the third counter. So then you remove the 3 counters to be able to get back the Pegasus. So now you have, again, 2 guys on the field, and their only restriction is that they can't go into an Exceed monster because of the Pegasus. So now you're going to Synchro those 2 because Luster is the tuner, and you're going to go into Ignister Prominence. Activate the Ignister Prominence to summon out the Dynamite. So this is where you want to start going for him because he will start getting good value from being fusion, because when you fusion and contact fuse with these, they actually tribute, so this will actually trigger his ability. So this is where we can also use Astrograph to destroy itself to special summon the Stargazer Magician. And then from here we can fusion the Stargazer and the Dynamite to go into the Dynamist, and then the Dynamite power will activate. I'm so bad with pendulum cards, man. I swear I cannot keep it organized for my life. And this is where we can add back the Pegasus. So again, now we have this effect live to special summon again. So we're going to activate this to special summon back the Ignis because we haven't done that yet. And then from here, we can actually link the Selene and the Ignister Prominence, which you can do this earlier too. But this is just like the way I have it memorized, was to do it this way. To summon Appaloosa, and remember that Appaloosa is for 2, not for any more than that. That's very important. And then we can activate Sky Iris to destroy the Luster Pendulum in the scale, and be able to search an Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon. And then from this point, we can activate Revolution Dragon, use the effect to destroy itself in the scale to bring back the Ignister Prominence. Now this resets the Ignister because Ignister soft once per turn effects is really good. Use the effect to special summon. And this is where you have the option where you can go into Dynamite, or you can go into the Master, because you don't have to waste one of these, because I know like sometimes in the crackback this card's like pretty good. But you can also just get a Master Pendulum, but we'll do this one just for the sake to get the 500 boost for Dweller, because it can sometimes come up. Overlay these 2 for Abyss Dweller, and then you overlay these 2 for Hope Harbinger. So again, during the end phase, you will search for the Pegasus, and you can grab literally anything you want. So maybe you can grab Skullcrabat Joker, which isn't a bad search because Joker, again, can get the Revolution, which can get the Luster, and then you can do it. You have like the same combo again next turn, essentially. So yeah, like this board's pretty good. Like I said, it beats Tier pretty well, beats Spright pretty well. It's like very hard deck, hard thing to out. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. So that's it for the 2-card combo. And again, it does this for any of the 3 between this, and this. So any combination of these 2 will do it. So it's like any of these 2 plus like a discard for the Sky Iris. And then again, if you have, like, let's say you opened up one of the field spells at the before you end your turn, you can just switch this out for Necro Valley, and then Tier Super can't play. Or you can leave this up as a follow-up for next turn to get Revolution Dragon, because this won't be here probably if you if this gets destroyed or something and you want to be able to keep going next turn. Or you make another one and then link it off, you can like get Revolution Dragon and then keep going that way. So overall, I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile and the combo. This is probably messing around with for fun. This is more of a fun deck for me. Like, this is definitely not the most competitive deck right now, in my opinion. I think Tier and Spright are still ahead of this because there's nothing in this deck that I feel is unfair, if that makes sense. But I really do hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. This deck is very like complicated though, and it's very hard. So if you guys enjoy this, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers. And until then, I will see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.